Hello, welcome to the Chit Chat Knits podcast. My name is Darcy and I'm the maker at Chit Chat Knits. Welcome back. It has been a while. I am so sorry that it has been over a month since I sat down to talk to you. It's been busy. I'm sure you've been busy too, and we all say we're busy, but we really have been busy. We spent a week in Crested Butte, Colorado skiing with our family, which was amazing. The weather was perfect. The snow was perfect. We had a great time with our family and friends, and it just couldn't have been better. It's been 2 years since we've skied out west, so it was great. And then I went with some of our family members and friends from Gunnison, Colorado, and flew to Houston, Texas to a family member's home there. And we had sort of a girls' week visiting places around Houston, Texas. We love to go to resale shops. So we visited some great resale shops. We spent a day in Galveston, Texas, and I'm going to show you a little yarn I got from Galveston in a few minutes. And just did a lot of fun things, including a carriage ride, which I absolutely loved, and just hanging out, knitting, just enjoying company, cooking some food, and just having fun. Then I came home and went to Madison, Wisconsin, and played with my grandkids for a week, which I always love. So we've been home a few days and I'm going to be taking off again. But you know what? That's retirement, and that's the fun of retirement. Thanks for stopping by. I'd love to show you all the great projects I've been working on, because it's been a month and there's been a lot of knitting. Let's get started. Well, the first thing I should show you is the yarn, the shop I went to in Galveston, Texas. And it's called Joyfully Stranded. It was an adorable yarn shop in a house. And I do have a picture of me standing on the porch. I'll try to remember to put that in here. We found it was a yarn shop and bead shop. And I loved this yarn that I got there. Here's the yarn. I really was going to resist and not buy any yarn, but I saw she had local Texas dyers. She had, regular, what do you call them? Like Cascade and the bigger brands too. But she had some yarn she had dyed, but also she had some local Texas dyers. So this one is Nordic Star Yarns. Look at like a quilt block. I gotta love that quilt block. And this yarn I just couldn't resist. Colors are a little off today because it is pouring rain out there. It is gray and cloudy. Luckily, this room gets a lot of light, so that's the way it is. But this is, I showed you this the Kato shawl, the pattern that I've been working on, and I just had to make it in this. So I also got this Champion showing you here. I know this is awkward, but hopefully you can get the idea. This mini skein that I'm going to put a border on with. It just reminded me of, Galveston is right on the ocean, and there's a beach that you drive for miles, and the sand and the sky and the water, and so I just couldn't resist this. I thought it was so pretty. That's a project on the needle. So we've already jumped to what's on your needles, but we're going to go back and do a little finished objects because I have quite a few today. But I just wanted to show you that and tell you about Galveston and Joyfully Stranded. It was amazing. What else? Okay, so finished objects. The first one is a blanket, and it's huge. I haven't shown you this at all. I started it in January, and I didn't want to show it because my friend Katie that I made it for, I was making it for her birthday, which is in March. So I had to keep it a big secret. And even when she came to visit us in Florida, she came down and camped with us in Florida. And I had this, a blanket. I think it was 5 or 6 skeins of this line brand mandala, and they're good size skeins. So I had a big bag with all this in it. And I said to my husband, she's coming. I have to hide this. And it's a camper. We don't have that much space. But we found a space. Our sofa kind of thing opens up and there's storage underneath it. So we hid it under and I said, do not open this when Katie's here because I don't want her to see it. But I did finish it and she loves it. And hopefully I've got a picture in here somewhere to show you Katie wrapped up in it. The colors I used, I actually did use, 3, but mainly 2 different colorways of this mandala. And the mandala has a variety of colors in it. So you do kind of see stripes in it. I used Mantra, and I guess it has a color 58 in there. And the other one is Harmony 97. And I just used one skein. When it ran out, I switched color, switched back, so I just got stripes. And it was really fun. I'm not a great crocheter, but it was fun to crochet. And I need to put I think it's called the 6-day blanket. I will put that in here. Of course, that is made with chunky yarn. So maybe you could do it in 6 days. It took me more like 6 weeks, but this mandala is 150 grams, 344 yards and 150 grams. So I guess that would be sort of Aran weight. Anyway, it was fun to crochet. I'm a little proud of myself because I'm not much of a crocheter, but I did do it and I really enjoyed the project and she loves it. So that makes me even happier about it. Finished object 1, a blanket. And I actually am doing a Make 9 board. The Noble Character Crafts has a Make 9, and I thought, I'm getting nothing done on my Make 9. And then I sat down this week and I looked at it, and this was on my Make 9. So I actually have a few projects finished on there. So that was kind of exciting. All right, so that's project 1. Now, another thing that I did while I was gone was I got to speak at a knitting retreat day, and that was sponsored through Cato Yarn Company, and it was held in Mankato, Minnesota. And it was so much fun. Just a lovely group of ladies that were there that day, all doing great projects. There were some spinners, crocheters, knitters, and she even had a photographer there. I spoke on color, and you'll see a picture of me speaking. But another thing that Shelley did was she had a dyeing session. So we got to dye, dye a sock blank. Now, I'm not an artist. I'm not a painter. I had no idea what to do. I was just, allergies. It's that time of year. So I just kind of went wild. People were doing really awesome artistic things, and I just kind of splashed some dye on my sock blank. But I think, I know you're like cringing because this is not artistic, but I think when I take this apart and start knitting with it, I think it's going to do some fun things. Fingers crossed. We'll see. But that was a really fun activity. Everybody got to make a sock blank. She had long tables set up, and we just, went through, and they were just awesome about preparing dies for us. And then Shelly actually finished them off that day. We did bring them home in a baggie wet, and then I just hung it up in my shower. They were already rinsed. So I just hung it up, and then I actually left for a week. So it was hanging in my shower when I got home, and now I have a sock blank that I can knit from. And they say you don't even have to wind the yarn. You can just knit it right off the sock blank. So we'll see. That might be a fun thing to try. All right, so the travel, the skiing, the Texas, the knitting retreat, all had a fun little element of knitting or crochet in there. So we can always fit that in. All right, other projects. Let's see. On this trip to Colorado, I knit on the plane a pair of my slipperoo socks. I love these little socks. They're DK weight. I've talked about them over and over, but I really do love them. They're fun to wear. This yarn I showed you before. This is by Melissa Abellafio Yarns, and it was one of her Simple Pleasures monthly yarn club boxes or packages that came, and I just love it. And I think I have enough, probably not to do a whole nother pair, but if I do contrasting maybe heels and toes, I know I can get another pair out. I love wearing them, so that will go in my drawer now to be worn. Actually, they'll probably go in my suitcase, and I'll tell you why, because I'm off and traveling again. I also knit another pair of socks on my travels, and this yarn too is by Melissa Abellafio. I showed you this before. This is another of her Simple Pleasures subscription packages, and I had to have this one because she advertised it in January when I was in, and this was February's box. I think I have that right. She showed it when I was in Florida, and we actually did go see flamingos at a park, and I just love flamingos, so I just had to have it. And so I actually just made up a little pattern. What do you think? Is this one a good one to publish? Should I finish writing it up? I need to hear what your thoughts on it. I think it's a really pretty pattern. It's quite simple. It's just some yarn overs, slip knit pass, pretty easy. And you see what I did here. I just took one, let me put that one down. I just went down the leg with one of the repeats. So down into the foot is just one. And it's not on the top of the foot. It's just to the right on the right foot and just to the left on the left foot. I thought it turned out pretty. I liked it. I liked the way it turned out. I like that one just going down the foot. I actually finished the first sock. Then when we were in Texas, we were sitting around visiting, and I was knitting away on the second sock, and I turned the heel, and I was heading down the foot, and then put it away that night. Next morning, got it out, realized that I had not changed colors for the heel. I had a pink heel. I was a ways down the foot. And I said to myself, this is fine. I said to everybody, I'll just have them different. It's fine. They'll just not be matching. I'll be okay with that. And then I realized I was not okay with that. So I ripped it back and changed the heel and put my contrast heel color on. And I'm glad I did because I think they're cute. I think they're a nice pair of socks that I'm going to enjoy having. Pink. I love pink. All right, another finished object. And we have another finished object. This one is beautiful. This yarn is by Up North Yarns. Monica did this special collection for me. And it is called the Apricity Wrap. Apricity. Now, let me tell you before I show you. This word, apricity, has had me intrigued, and I had to do a design. It means the sunshine, the warmth of the sunshine in winter. And I think it could be, well, apricot is a version of it, of the word. And apricot means the warmth of the sun. Apricity is the warmth of the sun in winter. And I love that because you know how today is a prime example. It's been rainy and gray for 2 days, just rainy, overhung, really low overcast, white, gray, blah days for 2 days. Now, if the sun peeked out this afternoon, it would warm my soul. It gives me energy. I love the feel of the warm sun, especially in a cold, drab winter. There's something rejuvenating about the sunshine. And so this is called the Apricity Wrap. Now let me show you. We start here. We do, that's the back side. It's slipped stitches. Keeps going. And then we're slipping stitches still, but a little bit different stitch combination. And this is the main color. And then we see those mini skeins again on the end. Let me just wrap myself in this. It's a long-shaped wrap that can be worn around the neck, can be worn over the shoulders. It's got a little bit different shape with some increases and decreases. I love to have a wrap because I get cold shoulders. I often sit with a wrap in the evening. It's not getting in my way of my working, but it keeps me warm. And I've said before, even in a restaurant in the summer, I'll bring a fingering weight, lightweight wrap just to throw over when the air conditioning is too cold. And if you work in an office, you know about this, how chilly it can be in an office. So this is the Apricity wrap. Up North, it's coming, the pattern is tested and it's coming May 1st. So in just a very short amount of time. And Monica actually has kits that she will be selling for this. It takes 6 mini skeins and a full skein. And you do use the full skein in most of each mini skein, 20-gram mini skeins. So look for that coming soon. I think it's really pretty. I actually have 2 good friends who both are vying for my sample. they would like to have my sample, so someone will get it. Isn't it fun? I love slip stitches. I think it's so fun the way slip stitches create color texture. I love doing slip stitches. So that's the apricity wrap. And I actually am making a bright version just because I like to knit my patterns a couple times, and I just think it's fun. So this will be, I'm going into the orange next, and then it'll actually have pink in it too. Kind of more of a bright rainbow, and then here's my background, just stash. Another, speaking of stash, do you know that in our Chit Chat Knits Ravelry group, so you'd go to groups in Ravelry, and actually I'll have the URL down below here, but we have a group, and one of the threads in our group is Stash Bash 24. We also have a hashtag on Instagram, but we're using up stash. Now, I intended to not really buy yarn this year, but you know, when you travel and you go to these great places, you maybe just have to pick up a skein, and that's okay too. And then my dyer friends make such beautiful yarn. Okay, whatever, doesn't matter. But our friends in our Ravelry group are making some amazing projects. So if you want some inspiration, please go to our Ravelry group, Chit Chat Knits, and you will find the Stash Bash 24 in there. There's some great, great projects. All right, and we also have a knit along, and this is the Knit Lit Mal. If you've been here before, you've heard about it, and I have finished my Knit Lit Mal project. This is the Wildflower Tea by Wise Owl Knits, and it's so cute. I made it for my granddaughter. My little I cords rolling up, but that's okay. Now, this was all stash yarn. Stash, little bits. Love using those little bits. The only problem is my granddaughter. It's too small. I guess I'm a tighter knitter than I thought I was. That's okay, because I have a friend who just had a baby girl, so it will make a perfect baby girl gift for a friend. I really like, I keep thinking I'd like to make this pattern again and make it a cardigan. So I would just put my, 5 or 7 stitches in here, a place to cut it apart, and then add, I would put the neckband on late after. And I did a little different. I did ribbing instead of, she has an I-cord neckband. So I would just start here with the flowers and then add my neckband after I cut it. I really think I'm going to do that because I think my granddaughter would wear that more. She could just throw it on. I think I'm going to do that. I've been thinking about it, and I think I just need to do it. Another project. But I want to show you, because the Knit Lit Mal 24 is the hashtag on Instagram. And then we have a thread in our Ravelry group. And some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people have sent some prizes. So I want to show you some prizes that I have for the make along. Now you can knit, crochet, whatever. But here we go. I have them back here. So this is the first one that came in this adorable bag. Is by Susan of Delightful Works. Can you see the sheep? How perfect is that for spring? And her bags, I'm not going to cinch it up, but I love her bags because they're drawstring, cinch them up. Oh, they're so beautifully made. She does such a beautiful job. Proverbs 3:13, and there's her name, Delightful Works. So thank you, my friend Susan, for sending this. I'll get it back in the plastic now. And then Monica of Up North Yarns sent this. Isn't this adorable? This is one of her, this wasn't a current listing that she had, but she dyed it up for the Knitlit Mail because it's called One Fish, Two Fish. You know what that's from, Dr. Seuss. Oh, I think it's so much fun. Look at those colors. Isn't that awesome? So someone will be getting this game. And then my dear friend, Melissa from Bella Fio Yarns sent this gorgeous spring skein. This is called Butterfly Kisses. Isn't that pretty? So springy. So we have some beautiful prizes that I'll be sending out. Now, today is April 17th, and this make-along doesn't end until May 15th. So you have almost a whole month to make a project, pair it with a children's book. My book was, if you remember, it was Fancy Nancy because Nancy likes fancy things. And then here's the important part that I hope you will do. And our friends have been doing this, and it just warms my heart. I would love you to give away a children's book. A little free library, hospitals, elementary schools, wherever you can find to provide someone with a children's book. Maybe a family in your neighborhood that has young children. Kids love books. They love picture books. Will you please join with me in giving some books and helping to promote early literacy? I am so excited because at the end of the month, my church is having a health fair. And I am going to bring some children's books and give them out at the health fair. So I'm really excited about that. I'll get some pictures to show you. Okay, I hope you'll join us. There's still a month. You have plenty of time. Join us. All right, what's on my needles now? Let's see. Little tiny project that I really would like to show you because I'm using them and I'm loving them. I know they're not that big a deal, but I'm finding these little cloths. I bought this super soft cotton yarn. I can't remember who it was from. I'm sorry. I'll have to put it in here. Really, really soft. I got it at my local yarn store, darn it anyway. And what I'm finding is they work great as face scrubbies for washing my face at night. And I gave some to my friend too. I actually bought a couple of antique little dishes and gave a little pile of these with the dish. And I just have mine up on my vanity. And I really am enjoying using them for face wash cloths. And then, you know, I just throw them in the wash machine after a couple times and they come out beautiful. And I don't really have a pattern. I just, crocheted, circle, added some half double crochet rounds, a single crochet round around the end, and that was it. Tons of patterns out there. You can find something if you want to make them, but they made a nice little gift. All right, so I have a few more of those. I'm going to finish up. I'm almost out of my, here it is. I almost am out of my yarn that I had. And here's what it is. It is Universal Yarns Cotton Supreme Speckles. It was really inexpensive. And let me see, how many have I gotten out of this? Let's see, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 so far, 11. And I will probably get 2 more. 13 of them. $13 for the yarn, $13 a piece. So reasonable, makes a unique little gift. Just an idea. And okay, so what's coming up next? I'm looking at my stuff here. I get to go. I told you I was traveling again. Here we go again. Twice a year, I have a group of friends that we get together. We go to a retreat. I guess you'd call it a retreat house. It's a gorgeous place. It is a hobby farm. So they actually have chickens and sheep and goats and dogs and donkeys, and they have hiking paths, and the retreat center where we stay is a renovated barn, and it is beautiful, just beautiful. Heated floors, I mean, so nice. I'm going there tomorrow. And in honor of the hobby farm, I felt like I had to jump on the emotional support chicken wagon. Have you made an emotional support chicken? My friend Leslie is churning them out, and they are so cute. She's been putting them in our Stash Bash thread. I'll grab a picture because she has some adorable ones. And so I thought I wanted the traditional white chicken. You know, chickens have all different names. Like, oh gosh, I've never raised chickens. Rhode Island Red. I wonder what the white chicken, if it has a special name. I don't know. I'll have to ask my friend who raises chickens. Anyway. So I got some mohair, some white mohair. And you know, I don't think I can wear it, but I can knit with it. And it's super kid mohair and silk. So I think it'll make an adorable chicken. And then I had stashed some, it's not white. My t-shirt is white. It's a little bit off-white. So I get to use up some stash yarn, and I'm gonna hold those together and have a fuzzy white chicken. I have a little piece of red, a little for the comb, and a little yellow for the beak. And because I think the pattern calls for worsted weight, well, this will not, you know, this will be fingering plus a mohair, which I don't even think that would be DK weight. So I'm gonna end up with a little chicken, and I'm okay with that. I hope this works out. I think it'll be really cute. My friend and I are gonna knit emotional support chickens this weekend. Let's hope we don't need an emotional support chicken to knit the project. We'll see how it turns out. I think it should be great. That's one project I'm gonna work on, and I'm gonna try to finish up my shawl, my wrap. Got a mess there, but it should be a lovely few days of just hanging out with friends and knitting. Wow, that was a pretty good catch up. I hope you will, do the stuff, like, subscribe, and I'm going to try to get back here again next week because it was too long this time. So hopefully I'll be back next week with my boiled chicken and we can catch up again. I'm going to put some photos of some of the Knit Lit Mal projects on the end here. So you'll see some fun projects. I hope you will stay all the way to the end and see what some of my friends in our Ravelry group have been making. Thank you for stopping by. I am so grateful that you're here. I'd love to hear from you. I always love the comments. Until next time, enjoy all your projects. Bye.